Could Fallout ever actually happen? I do think it could, but let me explain. The term fallout is the residual radioactive material propelled into the upper atmosphere following a nuclear blast, so called because it falls out of the sky after the explosion and the shockwave is passed. It commonly refers to the radioactive dust and ash created when a nuclear weapon explodes. Today, we're not talking about that. We're talking about we're not talking about that use of the word Fallout. We're talking about the video game series that has been adapted into now a show on Amazon Prime. The company called Vault-Tec gets civilians to sign up to reserve themselves or their family into a vault, which is just a fancier word for a large underground bunker built to survive you guessed it, nuclear fallout. Now let me talk about this in today's world, and not the game's world. If there were people signing up for living in a bunker, which I don't know if you knew this, but in the 1950s, pretty much until the end of the Cold War, there were bunkers built and scattered all over the U.S. And some are still there today, and some new ones have been built like this one. Today, it would probably be upper rich class government executives and the general high class population, and they'd be known as vault dwellers. The typical poor or middle class people like myself are either killed obviously from the nuclear blast or radiation, or they were turned into ghouls that survived the radiation. Whoops, wrong picture. That's better. I feel like this is what ghouls would actually look like if it actually happened. In the game series and the show, there's a paramilitary faction called Brotherhood of Steel. Also, I'm not going to get in and explain every faction and group that Fallout has. This was just a main one I wanted to discuss. They are basically a cult-like version of the U.S. military, only these guys protect and preserve the post-war technology while using advanced armor called power armor. After the fallout, and will not share what they find with anyone. Let's just say they have their own unorthodox ways of picking up the pieces of a fallen world. In today's world, again, I think we just have military personnel living just like civilians, only with more rules and authority, not as much as with an iron fist as the Brotherhood of Steel, or should I say, with a steel fist. Obviously, I don't know what the future would look like if a fallout ever occurred in our lifetime, but currently we don't have the technology capable yet, as far as I know, to have something such as power armor. And that's where Bethesda, the game developers, stepped in and blended together that heavy sci-fi aspect into such a catastrophic event and made a game series out of it. This next part goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. There's this wearable computer that you wear on your forearm called a Pip-Boy that Vault Dwellers have, and it basically contains information about you, your ailments, statistics about yourself, things you're good at, things you're bad at, notes, and a digital map of where you're at, and stuff in that aspect. There's probably more, but I don't know how to realistically put that into terms that would be on your arm, because obviously in real life, if a Pip-Boy actually existed, you can't just look at your inventory through a computer on your arm, that stuff you have in your backpack, or you know what I'm saying. It seems like an easy invention, but again, today's technology I just don't think is there yet. And I mean, this is all opinion based. The science and tech, just I don't think it's realistic. And don't get me started on VATS, the virtual assisted targeting system. That's just the game's way of giving you a brief aimbot. But so with all that said, Bethesda has built this cool, badass science fiction world stuck in the 1950s aesthetic out of something as terrifying as a nuclear blast, or nuclear fallout as well. Fallout's depiction of the nuclear post-apocalypse is reasonably a realistic one, meaning that it's hell on Earth. But there are a few inconsistencies within the games that Neil deGrasse Tyson would have a field day with. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Derek's video. Check out the podcast episodes. Thanks, guys. That's all I got. Bye!